Mike Martin along with Denny Moyer in the skybox here at Wildwood Park, and we're going to discuss Denny's recently announced retirement from the Sheboygan A's organization. But before we do that, Denny, let's talk about 2022. What are your impressions of this past season? What stood out?
Well, first of all, it was a great season. You know, we won a lot of games like we're supposed to do. But most of all, I think it was the players themselves. We had a great bunch of kids. They worked hard. They all got along. They had a good time, and it's still about the players, Marty. And they were great kids and talented kids. Marion College sends us players every year, but they sent us 3 outstanding kids this year. And Gus and Brady and Riley really made huge contributions for first-year people. And the guys coming back played well, and our pitchers were just outstanding. So it was a great year.
When you look at the great teams over the years that Sheboygan has had, what kinds of things are common among all those teams?
Commitment, I'd say. The good teams, they show you can't win without your people. And when our guys show up, we're in good shape. And this team was really committed. The team, I think it was 14, we won the Langsdorff. They were committed. And all those teams at the turn of the century when we had Gorman and Bartelt and those guys, the Lucas, they were committed. And, of course, our 91 team. That's the big thing. They really got to like it. They really got to love each other. They play. Coaches, everybody's got to get along. And that happens this year.
One of the things I know you've said over the years when we've talked about success or, struggling is who do you get at the games? If you get your top people there all the time, you're going to be pretty successful. Let's talk a little bit about the retirement. That's what our discussion is about. When did you decide to retire, and what pushed you towards that decision?
Well, I've been thinking about it for a number of years. I'm not so critical to this place anymore. We've got a lot of good people that get the jobs done without me, and it isn't necessary for me to do all the things I used to do. And so I know I wouldn't be missed as much, for one thing. The other thing is I got some health problems, Marty. I'm getting older, and this darn Parkinson's thing is bad news, and so I'm kind of just getting tired. And the combination of things with other capable people and me not being as efficient as good as I was, it was an easy call. Easy call.
Okay. All right. Let's see. One of the duties you're not going to be doing next season is the general manager duties, and that is really critical to the success of any baseball team. You have to get the players in. Who's going to do that GM job?
Well, first of all, I'm not going anywhere, so I'll be around if people have questions. Secondly, we've worked it out with 3 people. Tim is going to do the league affiliation stuff and the player stuff. Bill and Wayne are going to handle the equipment and ordering stuff and coordinating things with Dick and the ballpark committee. So there's 3 people are going to work as a team at it. And I think that'll work. They're all capable people. Tim's been around this. I mean, I changed his diapers in the dugout years ago. He's been around this forever. And so they know what they're doing, and they'll be fine.
I remember Denny telling the story one night. He was here. Donna was working the concession stand. Your daughter sang the national anthem. I think Tim was a player and David was the manager. So it's been a.
My mother-in-law was in the concession stand too.
So it's a family affair. One of the other things that you've done forever is you've been the historian of the team. You've kept the statistics over the years, and I know one of the things you've brought along every once in a while is your baseball Bible, which is a book of all the players that ever played for the A's and their statistics for the season. You produce the yearbooks, the A's yearbook, and then the State League yearbook. And Donna, I think, would do the scrapbooks. How is that going to, what's going to happen with all of that now?
Well, I think Tim is pretty good at all that stats and stuff, and he's much quicker than I am with my typing ability. When you're shaking and you're seeing double, you got a tough time typing, Marty. It's tough go. But he'll be helping with most of that stuff. I'll still keep my nose in it. That's the fun part of it. I like to see this, especially with guys that, like he was talking about, guys moving up the charts. That's kind of fun,
Oh,
is anybody ever going to catch Wilkie or Wettenkamp or Mand or something, and Harry's been around a long time. It's kind of fun to keep track of that stuff. So I'll keep my nose in it, but I'll keep out of his way too.
Who's going to call 50-50 next year? I know people have just been waiting to find out who's going to be doing that if you're not around.
Well, up. I don't know. I think we make more of that than there is, really. I don't think it's necessary to do all that, but it kind of got to be a habit, I guess.
Press box makes a lot of it.
But it's kind of fun. Somebody will take it over, I'm sure.
One of the things that I look forward to, and I know a lot of the fans do, is your Echoes from the Dugout, your weekly column that gets in, I think it's the Sun, possibly. But anyway, where do you get your inspiration for your columns, and is it tough to produce a weekly column?
I don't know, and yes.
Inspiration is I don't know.
Yeah, things just happen, I sit down on my typewriter without a single thought, and my computer, and I don't know, things just happen. I don't know, they just happen. They don't happen all the time. Some of those columns are pretty lousy if you take a look at them. But usually I find something to pin a story on, and it's kind of fun to do. I enjoy it.
I enjoy reading them, and I don't think there's ever been a lousy one. At least that's me speaking. Let's talk a little bit about the book. You're in the process of writing a book. Got a couple of questions for that. Do you have a title picked out? And if you do, can you tell us what it is?
I really don't. I haven't thought about what I'm going to name it. It's going to just be about Sheboygan baseball, about the A's, how we started, some of the characters we've had over the years, some of the things we've done, some of the games we've won. So it's just I got 11 chapters done, and I'm up through about 1985 or so. So there's a long way to go yet. But I think it'll be fun certainly for the players, to bring back some memories and stuff, and some of the old stories we're going to retell and clean a couple of them up a little bit. But a lot of people have put in a lot of effort into this thing, and a lot of players. For some of us, this was a highlight of our sports career. I never went anywhere but horsed around here playing with the A's, and to some guys it was really important. Some guys took it for granted, didn't care much about it, and showed up and played. But to some guys, it changed a lifetime. I get a call once in a while from somebody asking me how I'm doing, and a kid played in 1981 or something like that, and it means a lot to me. And I just like to chronicle the thing. I'd like to get it on paper so people know what we did here for 50 years.
Great answer. One of the things that came up over the last couple of years has been an idea of a sports museum down here at the ballpark. Where did that idea stem from, and what do you see the museum being like if it does get built?
Well, this is something that I'm pushing, not getting a lot of support for it. It's going to be awfully expensive. I don't know if it's ever going to happen or not. But the idea just came from the fact that, I was a sports writer for 25 years here before I started, and played and everything before that. And there's a lot of really quality athletes come out of this town. The things that have happened here, Pat Mottsdorf and all those guys, there's chairmakers, Johnny Puzzowitz and Joe Hauser and all those guys. And so many things have happened. And I think it'd be nice to remember them. It'd be nice to these things shouldn't be forgotten. So I'd like to build it right here at the ball. We're at the ballpark doing this. I'd like to build it right here at the ballpark. But it's going to cost some money, and this is not the time to do something like that. We've got some work to do first. But it'll be interesting to see how it comes out, and I've thought about tying it in with a restaurant. I don't know if that's going to go over or not, but strictly a ballpark stadium kind of food,
Okay, right.
and hopefully that would help sustain it, make some money off of it. But I don't know. If this is not the time for it, there's no money around to do it, and I don't know. I'd just like to see it. I'd like to see it happen. It's one of my dreams, just like this ballpark was a dream at one time. So if you don't keep pushing and keep after it, you're not going to happen. So it's kind of on the back burner right now, but I'd like to see it happen.
You answered my third point about the museum is how's the funding going? Obviously not very well. Since you're in retirement, Denny, what do you see yourself doing? I know you like golf, and I know you like writing, writing the book, but how has retirement been treating you, and how do you see it moving forward?
Well, I'm retired from the jobs that I've had. I don't work at the chamber anymore. But I keep busy enough. It seems like I'm working full time. I work, I get a lot of things done. At least put a lot of time into it. I'm working late every night just about. And but it takes longer for me to do things. That's the reason I'm working so darn late. We don't do a lot of traveling. Don and I, COVID's kind of screwed that up.
Yeah, I hear you.
And we used to go to Arizona, as you know.
Yes.
But the people we stayed with, they sold my winter homes down there. So I haven't got a place to stay, and it's just, it's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
If we go, you like to go for a month and play golf and watch baseball. That's what it's all about. There's no point going for a couple, 3-4 days or something. But so I plan on doing some of that. I'll be hanging around the ballpark here and playing golf, or letting golf play me, as I see it. I'm terrible. But it's a lot of fun, so I plan on enjoying that. So. Otherwise, not much. I'd like to do more reading. I don't have much time to read anymore. And writing, of course.
Right.
So I'll keep busy.
It's going to be different for you when you come to a ball game next year and you don't have anything to do per se. I'm sure, there'll be a lot of people to talk to, but that's got to be, have you thought about it, what it's going to be like to come to the ballpark next year and just be able to actually watch the game?
I did a lot of that this year already. I didn't have to do too much this year. I can't believe the people we have here at this ballpark. And we got people that really are committed. We got people working all the time. I know CJ likes some more help. We don't have enough interns, but that concession stand, they're working day and night. The ticket office is working day and night. Press box up here is working day and night. Tim has got the team under control. Everything's happening. I can sit there and watch.
Isn't that nice?
That's nice. So I'm thinking next year I'll do the same thing. Enjoy the games and hang around. If I can empty a garbage can or help out some way, I'll do it. But just not going to break my back anymore. That's all.
One more question, Denny. Donna did not ask me to ask you this, but I'm going to ask it. In retirement, will you be able to clean your office?
I hope so. I hear enough about it. I can find stuff. It takes a little while sometimes. I can find stuff. She can't ever find anything down there. That annoys her. But yeah, we'll make time for it.
The other night we were having a old timers board meeting and we wanted to get the phone number of somebody, so somebody on the board said, call Denny. After about 10 minutes of looking, Denny did find the phone number. So it was there, and you did find it. Denny, thanks a lot for sharing your insights on baseball and your retirement. We all wish you the best, and we look forward to seeing you at the ballpark next year.